Okay everybody, so the XR6 is back in the garage, which means we're going to pull some stuff apart. So the front bar had an incident the other week, but we'll get to that in a different video. But right now, the things we're going to focus on. Now, one of the things we bought last year, which was the aftermarket center console, this section here, not a cheap item. Now, the one thing that's happened is, as you can see here, it's actually moved. This is all bowed out of shape, it's cracked, none of these are right. And I mean, this is just cheap plastic, so it bent, but this is not cheap plastic. This whole structure here, it's about 600 bucks. So it's not a cheap investment. And we spoke to AeroPro about it, and they were really good. Sent us another one, so we're going to do a swap out on that. We're going to finalise these gauges. We're going to fix some door handles. We're going to install the rest of the stereo. We're going to work on the 360-degree camera system that we built and installed. Try to get it running. I've had trouble from that from day one, but this is a good opportunity to rip all that apart. There is also probably something I'm missing, but we will get into that as well. We're going to get stuck into this now. The Civic's back on the road. We can take this time. So for the center console thing, we're going to break this up into a few little movies, so that way we can just focus on a few select parts. So if someone wants to watch it, they need to watch, 25 minutes of something just to watch a 5-minute section. So we're going to break this all up in a bunch of little videos. The first thing we're going to do is rip that center console out, swap everything out that we need to, and then start focusing on the rest of the items in the car and give the thing a clean. It hasn't had a clean in about 6 months. It's ridiculous. So we get stuck into this piece at a time. A few other little things we're going to look at on the way. But yeah, so we'll get that and we'll get started. Alright, so again we have the stereo shroud installed unit for a BF XR6. Alright, so again we have the installation kit for the BF XR6 stereo shroud center console area. Now, center dash. Okay, here we are again with the installation kit for the BF XR6 center dash stereo shroud installation kit. Now, we previously put one of these in the car on a previous video. It's a pretty big blowout of putting the whole thing together, so we'll just jump through this one reasonably quickly, but we are going to unbox this right now just to have a look in there again. But oh, I need a knife. Okay, so this is a replacement for the one we have in the car. This is piano black, again, just the same as the one that's in the car. This is a warranty replacement, which they've been kind enough for AeroPro to do. Excellent product. A few little things in there that I was a bit iffy about. The only thing that I found with this is that down the bottom is 2 USB slots and a manual. It can get any way depending on what leads you have in there, but that's just the thing. But let's get this thing out. There we have it, same as last time. Look at that. Beautiful and clean too, very nice. So there it is again, the BF stereo center console, center dash changeover. Same thing in the box, comes with all your harness and your wiring clips. Now everything that we already have previously done is already in the car, so we're going to exchange everything that's in there onto this. So there's a good chance we won't need this, so that'll stay bagged up. The other one does have to get sent back because it's a warranty issue, but we'll get this thing out now, so let's go get the other one out of the car, and then we can put the two together, show you the issues again, what's going on in there at the moment. While this is out of the car, we are going to do a few other bits and pieces of things. This is a priority first. Get this out, get this sorted. So we will just do a short run through of installation. Funnily enough, it doesn't actually come with any installation books for this one. That's interesting. So it's a good thing we've done this before. Anyway, go get the next one. Okay, so the reason we are changing out this center section here is because of this issue here. As you can see through here, it is deformed completely out of shape. This top section is supposed to fit neatly under there, and it does not. So that's why we're getting this replaced. It's all deformed. These are actually very hard to move. This is cracked through here. So I'm going to pull it out, pull it apart, and swap it. Okay, so after unplugging everything, we got it out. Here we are. We'll go over and compare it to the old one. See how much difference there actually is. Okay, so putting some soft down to not scratch the face of the new one and keep the old one in relatively good peace. The main components of this thing is a few bits. This bit here is your key stuff, so without that the car doesn't go. And then this is your main control body that everything else the car plugs into. Pretty easy. Change these vents over. Plug a few things in a few spots. We've already done all our stereo stuff. The stereo wiring in these is different for branding of the stereo. So we'll start unplugging this, start swapping things over. You've got to do a bit of an order. You need the stereo out to get this out. You've got to put this in first before you put the stereo in. That's the only thing you've got to remember. So what we'll do first is take off our top module. Try not to lose everything. Everything has little clips on the side that they'll pop into. And then we want to take off the vents. So normally this comes with, your kit will come with the instructions, the bag, and obviously no vents or anything like this. You have to reuse your existing vents, so it's a good opportunity to make sure you've got good vents, and the cat's on the car. You're getting leaves out for me, can't you? Off the car. You talked about this. Yes, I know. God. Okay, so swapping the vents over. Pretty straightforward. As I said, there's a previous video on this where we go through it a lot more in depth. But this is just a fast track version as I've previously been through all of this. So don't over tighten any of the screws is the key too. You don't want to damage the plastics where it bolts into. So 3 screws in for this one. Right, that bit's in. Stereo, whatever mounting screws you have for your particular type of head unit. Same again, just take everything off and ensure that things that you have here aren't too entangled and everything. If you zip tie or tidy anything up afterwards. So we've got those here. So this should just come out all by itself. There you go. So the leads that go up the top here, we'll just unplug them. They all have their own space too, so you can't confuse any of them. Just put that out of the way. Now these are a socket available, but you don't need to do them up exceptionally tight. Now, the way this wiring runs for this bottom thing here for that key module is that it goes up through this edge just here. So the best key is to take off this screw so that without having to unplug everything, you can just take that module out just like that. Now there is a zip tie there, we'll get some cutters for that. Just cut that off. Take that out. Bring this over to the new one. Get that screw back in there real quick. So as you can see this, looking at that, those holes are way out of shape as to what they should be. Jim's trying to help. Jim. Hello. Okay. Reinstallation. Just put this in. Leave that out there for now. Put the 4 nuts back on those screws. They're in a bit of a not so exciting spot, but that's okay. Them in. So back onto this side, undo this screw. Get that cable under there nicely. Screw back in. We said this runs up the side here, straight onto the top. Its own little hidey spot. And there is a screw. There is 2 screw spots here, but I lost the screw last time. Try not to do that. And that goes back into there. Then as for the stereo, now that'll go down there when we're finished. Maybe you'll tidy it up. But make sure we've got it put it in the right way for one. Slide that down, that's to the car. Then you have external stuff for the stereo. Speeds, here we go. So this one here goes into the top center. That was for, I think that goes, no, that's for the microphone. That, I can't remember actually. Oh, yeah, I can't remember. This one goes over to the far hand side here. And then this small one right here goes into this small one right here, sorry, goes into this top section. So if you want to couple screws, put them back in. Oops. Drop that on. Magnetic screwdrivers. Just make sure that's sitting properly. Right, find the right one, put it in that side. Find the right one this side. Just set where, obviously where you want the stereo to be, which I have not got in the right spot. Need to go up a touch. Need to go up one. Want to be about there. What's going on here? So where that lines up and where that used to line up seems to be different. Weird. Right, Rightio, it's a bit of mess around. We got it back together, but we'll double check all our connections and then shove it back in the car. Move. Goddamn way. Hi, Jim.
My modified 4x4s for years. I've been in more places than most. Does your insurance have a plan like this? Have 4x4 insurance, because the best bits of Australia are rarely on the main road.
Jim, what the fuck? Why are you on the fucking car? Jim. fucking cat. Okay, so the installation is just pretty much a straight run of the reversal, slotted into a point. When you push it in, make sure that any cabling you've got obviously doesn't get pinched behind there. The gauge cables for the top come out. They've got to be routed around the side of the vents to come out because that whole vent sits against. Now this will push in and slot in, but at the moment we don't want that in. And then all the plugs go back in the bottom there. So we've turned it on. Just turned it on to there. Turns back on. Now the light on this does come on, so it's a plus, but it goes out. So this is where we've got to start having a look at, is this particular thing here right now. So we're going to suss a few things first. And the first thing is that the stereo's functioned. In there is a lead for the reverse camera. So guessing that once it goes into reverse and the rear lights go on, that would be what it would be. Now the trigger wire for the camera is here, so we're going to, what I'm going to do first is strip it, plug it into a positive 12 volts, see what happens from there, and then just mess around with it, and we'll see what we can figure out.